Franklin D. Roosevelt once stated, remember always, that all of us, you and I especially, are descendants of immigrants and revolutionists. Today I will argue that the federal government should pass House Resolution 64 and reform our country's immigration system. There are many politicians and many organizations who are in support of immigration reform. A specific individual who supports immigration reform is Representative Pamela J. Paul. Some organizations who support immigration reform include American Immigration Law Foundation and Bridging Refugee Youth and Children's Services. There are also many organizations and politicians who are against immigration reform. Some of these individuals include Representative Steve King and Representative Paul Gauser. Groups who are against immigration reform include Americans for Immigration Control and Negative Population Growth. I support Representative Pamela J. Paul and American Immigration Law Foundation and Bridging Refugee Youth and Children's Services in supporting immigration reform. I've researched both sides of the argument and am prepared to give an unbiased argument. I personally would not benefit from immigration reform as I already have citizenship. I've also done extensive research on both sides and have looked at the statistics of both claims. Today I will discuss the 3 reasons why the federal government should reform immigration. First, immigration reform would be made more affordable. Second, immigration reform will make the process safer. Third, despite my opposition's claims, immigration reform will not increase crime rates. Now that we've previewed the arguments, let's talk about our first argument, which is affordability. The problem is that gaining citizenship is not affordable for everyone who wants to gain citizenship. According to Jonathan Peets, it costs $725 to gain citizenship. This is over half of a month's income for a family in Mexico. This is making it very difficult for entire families to pay the citizenship fees. Fees are generally non-refundable. According to the USCIS, even if the immigrant is denied citizenship, they will not get a refund of their money. The solution to this affordability problem is passing House Resolution 64. Implementing this reform will create and maintain fair fees for immigrants entering the country. This act also demands considerable financial benefits for immigrants, and it also establishes a the Resolution's Office of Migrant Protection, which ensures financial stability throughout entering the country. In addition to affordability, the reform will also make the process more safe. Second, immigration reform will make entering the country more safe. The problem is that immigration difficulties has led for immigrants to become susceptible victims of abuse and trafficking. According to Renee Leva Flores, 29.4% of Mexicans entering the country have experienced some form of abuse. According to Jennifer Chacon, the laws that we currently have in the immigration system actually incentivize human trafficking. They do this because the threat of deportation is used as a form of control for exploiters, and also the difficulties of entering the country has resulted in immigrants resorting to unsafe and desperate measures. Often, immigration status has been used as a fear tactic for control, which is how they have become victims in many ways. This resolution would lead to a safer path to citizenship. Renee Leyva Flores adds that human rights policies must be incorporated into our immigration system in order to make the process safer. House Resolution 64 will also strengthen the humanitarian resources available to immigrants. Now that I have explained my arguments for immigration, I will refute my opposition's claims. Finally, the opposition claims that immigration reform will increase crime rates. I will refute this in 3 ways: reducing to absurdity, net benefit, and minimizing. Research done by the FBI's crime report has found 0 correlation between higher immigrant populations and higher crime rates. These are faulty claims that are publicized as factual, even though they don't account for the fact that all races and backgrounds can commit crimes. There's also evidence that there's a correlation between immigrants and reduced crime. According to the URC, where we have high immigrant populations, there's actually lower property crime. Also, they positively contribute to the economy and society. It is also less likely that immigrants will commit crimes. They have incentive to follow the laws, as many of them have to worry about deportation, and statistics have shown that both documented and undocumented immigrants have a lower crime rate. Immigration reform will not increase crime rates, and it has been known to have the opposite effect. It is clear that my opposition's claims are not based on factual evidence, but ignorance. In conclusion, the federal government should pass House Resolution 64 for 3 reasons. First, the process will make immigration more affordable. Second, immigration reform will make entering the country more safe. Third, despite my opposition's claims, immigration will not increase crime rates. It's time for the federal government to form a new immigration system that recognizes the fact that all of us are descendants of immigrants.